Is Coolmoon RGB worth it? Coming from a guy who does not care about RGB, yes, Coolmoon is very worth it. Well, to the many people who are thinking, oh, this is Chinese junk, it's actually not as bad as you think. So many people have warned me about Coolmoon RGB and how shit it is, but I've used Coolmoon RGB 2 seasons of Joseph Zhang Flips PCs. We both used Coolmoon RGB, and no one has come back with a faulty fan. Coolmoon provides, I believe, it provides really good value, but yeah, I see where people are coming from. But for 45 New Zealand dollars, you're getting 3 fans, remote, LED RGB strip, and a controller. I believe it's pretty worth it. Like, to be honest, I haven't asked the people I've sold computers to, but one guy has come back who's asking me to install more fans into his PC that are Coolmoon RGB. These fans, although they might have some weird colors, the RGB is relatively good for what you're paying for. So $40 can probably get you 1 Cooler Master fan, but with these you can get a whole set of fans, which I believe that's very good price for performance. So this video will talk about the pros, the cons, and will also be showcasing the RGB and all its features. The controller itself has a lot of features, like most Coolmoon RGB controllers support up to 10 RGB fans, which I think is a bit overkill. Like, come on, when do you need 10 RGB fans? And also gives you the choice of 2 LED RGB strips. To be honest, I'd rather have more RGB LED strips than more fans, because I think 10's overkill. But yes, and another cool feature of the controller is that the controller also has RGB. The controller can light up, the controller can change color, just like the fans and the RGB LED strip. Another thing I would like to point out is the good quality of Coolmoon RGB. They make really rigid RGB fans, and the fans feel very solid. I believe they're doing a knockoff of the Cooler Master RGB. I put a picture of this, of the Coolmoon and the Cooler Master. I personally, I've touched a broken Cooler Master fan before. That was RGB, fully RGB, and yeah, they really remind me of those with the rubber corners. Especially, I feel it's more quality than the cheap Cooler Master fans or the cheap black fan 120mm fans you get in like cheap cases. Another thing I like about this is the remote control. It is a very intuitive remote. So the remote pretty much has an on button and an off button, and it has an auto button which cycles through every color. And it also has a bunch of modes. I'll put a number on screen because I can't really remember. And it also gives you flexibility to change your brightness. It also gives you flexibility to change the speed of the fans. It also comes with on the remote 12 colors. There's 12 colors you can choose from, which is white, green, pink, orange, blue, purple, orange, dark yellow, light yellow, dark blue, dark green, and red. So a variety of colors. And the thing about the remote is that it uses a coin cell battery, so pretty easy to use, and it uses RF wireless. So you don't have to actually have the controller visible. So you can hide the controller under your case. But to be honest, I believe, as I said before, the controller's RGB really makes the controller look good and match with the RGB fans and RGB LED strips. Now onto the cons. One con I have is that for some reason on some cases, especially the bigger NZXT and the big full tower cases, the short fans, the short fan cables are just I don't know if there's extenders you can get, or splitters you can get, but the short fans cable length is really terrible on some cases. But for cases like the one right next to me, like this Cooler Master, completely fine. Smaller and like the Antec DP301M, no problems there. And another one I don't really like about this is that the LED RGB strip has pretty terrible magnetic quality, and also I've seen where the rubber they use has overlapped a bit and is like a bit like jank and is like really badly molded and casted. I don't really have an example to show you guys. The pros outweigh the cons. One other thing which is really minor is that the RGB is only on a ring around the fan, not on the fan itself. I wouldn't really mind because the fans are pretty much translucent, so the green or the whatever color on the ring can actually pretty well cast itself onto the fan blades, which is... So unless you live in New Zealand or in Auckland specifically, there's not really much suppliers who supply Coolmoon RGB in New Zealand. You can definitely find them on AliExpress, but you won't get a warranty on those, which is a pain because these are Chinese, and as I said before, there could be some quality issues. So for me, I personally get them in bulk from a supplier in Auckland, which gives me a good deal. One other downside of Coolmoon fans is that it uses a custom connector. I believe it's a 6-pin connector, and this connector only works with Coolmoon products. So pretty much all their products use this 6-pin. So you can't really interswap RGB fans. You have to use Coolmoon RGB fans. So like, to conclude, pretty much the pros outweigh the cons. And I personally would recommend the Coolmoon RGB to my friends. I put them personally on my computers I sell. But from a guy who doesn't really care about RGB, yeah, I believe it's a great budget option. Like, personally, if you want to get some good bling, it's definitely a step up from red LEDs or blue LEDs or white LEDs, and it makes your case look great. I love how the brightness is really bright at night and you can turn it down, but it's all up to personal opinion. But for me, go Coolmoon RGB all the way. It doesn't really appeal to me because my computer's on the ground and no one really looks at my computer. So for me, I don't really care. But for selling computers and especially for PC flipping, and if you've watched the PC flipping series, RGB definitely helps to make the computer look good and to add perceptual value, even although it doesn't really cost that much. So thank you very much for watching this quick review on Coolmoon RGB. Next week we'll have a video on Joseph Zhang Flips PC Part 3. What happens next week? I don't know. Very interesting. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. And I hope to see you in the next video.